When I was sitting down to write and script this video, मेरे दिमाग में दो टाइटल आए. Title number one was the irrelevance of Mostly Sane. And वो इसलिए because the trajectory that she has been on, the content and the criticism that she's been getting, it will not be long before Mostly Sane becomes irrelevant. But then I realized that can be a little bit disrespectful, that can be a little bit distressful. So I changed the title. The title that you came into reading in this video, The Tragedy of Mostly Sane, is very apt. मतलब समझो जो ट्रेडिशनल प्लेज होते हैं ना, लाइक यू हैव शेक्सपियर प्लेज, उसमें मैकबेथ, योर ओथेलो, योर हैमलेट, दीज आर ऑल ट्रेजेडीज जहाँ पे एक मेन कैरेक्टर होता है, पूरी कहानी उसके डाउनफॉल की होती है, जिसमें मेन कैरेक्टर को रियलाइज नहीं होता है कि उसका डाउनफॉल होने वाला है, बट एज एन ऑडियंस, एज द कैरेक्टर्स हु आर वाचिंग दिस मेन कैरेक्टर, उनको पता होता है कि उसके साथ कुछ बहुत बुरा होने वाला है. एंड आई थिंक प्राजक्ता कोली विल इन अ फ्यू मंथ्स, years, might find herself in a similar situation where the mostly sane success story might become a tragedy. Now, this video is a part of the About That YouTuber series, if you are wondering, but we are doing it slightly differently for a lot of different reasons. कि Mostly Sane at one point was one of my favorite YouTubers. I remember subscribing to her channel when she had around 20-25,000 subscribers. उसका एक वीडियो था about slangs daily people use. I really resonated with that video and I subscribed to her channel. Then I unsubscribed to her channel when she released her song Shameless. क्यों, उसके बारे में बाद में बात करेंगे. But this video has been triggered by my 3 interactions. Twice in my life I've had the pleasure of interacting with Prajakta one-on-one. And the first time was when मैं गया था YouTube Fan Fest पे 2018, the one that took place in Delhi. We were backstage. Prajakta was about to go perform, and we had a very nice fleeting conversation. मैंने उसको बोला all the best for performance, and the vibe that I got from that interaction, that very brief, very fleeting interaction, was that this is a very nice, genuine person who is like the persona that she presents online. The next interaction that I had with her was a year later at IIM Ahmedabad. उसमें एक पैनल था जिसको मेरा स्टार्टअप स्पॉन्सर कर रहा था, एंड प्राजक्ता वॉज पार्ट ऑफ द पैनल अबाउट इन्फ्लुएंसर्स, क्रिएटर्स एंड यूट्यूबर्स. ऐसा कुछ पैनल था. आई आस्क्ड हर अ क्वेश्चन इन द पैनल एंड शी रिस्पॉन्डेड इन अ स्लाइटली कॉकी मैनर. मुझे याद भी नहीं है टू बी ऑनेस्ट कि क्वेश्चन क्या था, बट आई डू रिमेंबर द वाइब दैट आई गॉट फ्रॉम हर. द चेंज बिटवीन द वाइब दैट आई हैड फ्रॉम हर फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम and the second time was vastly different. The third interaction that actually triggered this video was her interview with Bhuvan Bam on a Zoom Studio show. उसमें of course I will link the video and the timestamp in the description. Play नहीं कर सकता हूँ, copyright आ जाता है, and Mostly Sane has been notorious for her copyright strikes on smaller creators. So the question was about a strike that she delivered on Captain Jambi, जिसने उसके Shameless गाने को criticize किया था. Now, the thing that triggered me the most to make this video was the response that she gave, which was कि उसने उस creator के content को copyright strike करके सारा पैसा खुद बटोर दिया. Now, what she did was, of course, it can be debated कि fair use के अंदर था या नहीं था, but the thing that triggered me was the cockiness and the overtly confidence appearance that she gave on that interview in front of millions of people. Potentially, it could have reached millions of audience that she has. It's okay to silence people who are voicing your opinion against you by brute force, and if you have resources you can silence those people. That was the vibe that I got from that interaction. While that might not have been a one-on-one, a person-to-person interaction, but the vibe that I got from the screen, I am a huge believer in the vibe that I get from a person. I know थोड़ा cocky सा word है, थोड़ा stupid सा word तुम्हें लग रहा होगा, but you have this gut feeling when you meet a new person, when you interact with someone. Like when you see someone online, you get a certain kind of energy from them. And अगर वो energy तुम्हें अच्छी लगती है, then it gives off a nice feeling for you. If not, then you tend to be pissed off or put off by the person. Now the vibe that I got from that particular interaction was very weird. I did not anticipate कि प्राजक्ता ऐसा कुछ बोल सकती है, and that is the reason that I'm making this video. This is not a roasting video. This is not a Prajakta Koli exposed video. This is not me shitting on her content. While I was writing the script for this video, the two things that I specifically focused on कि मुझे Prajakta Koli और Mostly Sane के प्रति अपनी empathy दिखानी है, and I have to be as respectful as I can be. Now, of course, मैं video ऐसे नहीं बना रहा because that would have made me use her video, her clips, and she has a notoriety around her कि वो content को copyright strike कर देती है. If not her, then her managers, her management agency, they do that. So this is a conversation kind of a piece that we are doing. I know थोड़ा लंबा intro सा हो गया है, but it's important for you guys to understand the context behind this video to fully appreciate what is happening here. Now this video has been divided into 4 parts. Part 1 में हम बात करेंगे Mostly Sane के content के बारे में, जिस पे उसको अभी तक सबसे ज़्यादा criticism मिला है. Part 2 में we'll take a brief look and my hypothesis around her audience, what the audience's perception towards Prajakta Koli is. Part 3 में we'll focus, and a very big part of this video will be about her YouTube series which was pretty fit, जिसका बहुत अच्छा response नहीं आया, and why I believe that might be a turning point, a crucial turning point for Prajakta Koli. And finally we'll take a look at the person and the persona that is MostlySane and Prajakta Koli. Slightly long intro, but it's very important to set up context ताकि सही तरीके से इस वीडियो को रिस्पॉन्स लिया जाए, सही तरीके से इस वीडियो को समझा जाए. This might be a long video. Prajakta Koli might or might not be one of the YouTubers that you watch, but I think it will give you some sense of understanding कि YouTube पे कंटेंट में जो एवोल्यूशन आ रहा है, जो चेंज आ रहा है, उसमें एक टॉप के यूट्यूबर को कैसे अपने आप को डेवलप या चेंज या इवॉल्व करना चाहिए. So without any further ado, let's begin. The biggest criticism that Prajakta Koli gets on her content, not abhi, right from the time that she started, is that कि उसका content copied होता है, inspired होता है, लिली सिंह से, लेले पॉन्स से. Now personally, I feel कि इसमें कुछ गलत नहीं है. She is getting inspiration from somewhere, and she is not just copying blindly. She is putting her own Indianized version in these things. She is putting her own creativity in it, and then recreating. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Now the problem that a lot of people find in this is that MostlySane's content is cringy. They don't find it relatable. They don't find it funny at all. They think it's repetitive. And that is a criticism that has been floating around generally around her content. I think we need to understand as an audience कि if her content is working, if her particular comedy sketches, if her different character that she plays, if her style of sketch comedy is working, and you and I don't like it, हम personally कोई होते नहीं उसको judge करने वाले. If there are 100 other people, 1,000 other people, a million other people that are willing to watch that thing. With that said, there are a lot of criticism because MostlySane calls her a comedian, okay? And comedy, while comedy is subjective, there are certain amount of traits that you have to exhibit in order to be good comedian. कॉमेडी का सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट जो ट्रेट होता है ना कि अगर तुम रिलेटेबल कॉमेडी बना रहे हो देन ऑल्सो इट हैज टू बी स्मार्ट. बट ओवर द कोर्स ऑफ हर ग्रोथ दैट कॉन्टेंट हैज नॉट इवॉल्व्ड. दैट कॉन्टेंट इज स्टिल द सेम एज इट वॉज 3 years ago. हर वीडियोज, इवन दो दे आर टिपिकल स्लैपस्टिक कॉमेडी, they don't hold your attention as long as they might have had in the past. And this first point might be very debatable for you कि ठीक है उसके content देखना हमारे लिए target audience नहीं है. उसका target audience is kids or young women. If I don't like MostlySane content, I am free to not watch it. The people that will like it will definitely watch it. But that is not the entire argument. The argument here is that MostlySane के channel पे तुम जाओगे ना, you will see a very evident pattern. She puts out 3 videos a week. One is a comedy sketch which comes out I think every Thursday. Every Saturday she does a Q&A video, and every Tuesday she does an interaction with her audience. Now her sketches, her highly produced, well acted, well directed, not maybe at the level of comedy you would expect, they get a lot of views. They'll easily get millions में views. But the other 2 videos that she does, her Q&A video and her Real Talk Tuesday videos, जहाँ पे उसको actually अपनी personality दिखानी होती है, जहाँ पे she has to engage and interact with the audience, जहाँ पे MostlySane के characters नहीं हैं, जहाँ पे MostlySane the person is coming out to interact with the audience, जहाँ पे वो character आता है ना, वहाँ पे she doesn't get a lot of views. These difference in views is significant, and I think that is where the problem begins. And that is where the audience criticism and the creator criticism and the community criticism that she get comes from कि उसके चैनल पे लोग उसको देखने नहीं आ रहे हैं. If you have a 5 million channel, if you're getting less than 10% views on your videos, the way you are showcasing your own personality, that is a sign of a bigger problem that is there. Now, the reason that I think that they have not addressed this problem, they से मेरा मतलब Prajakta herself and her team, One Digital Entertainment, that she has been working for so long, is because their formula is working. जिस दिन उनके स्केचेस पे व्यूज आने कम हो जाएंगे, जिस दिन उसके स्केचेस इररिलेवेंट हो जाएंगे, देयर विल डेफिनेटली कम अ टाइम जब उनकी अपील कम हो जाएगी. दैट इज व्हेन दे विल हैव टू टेक अ हार्ड लुक एट देमसेल्व्स कि व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, इज इट गुड और इज इट बैड और इज इट इवन वर्थ इट. आई थिंक इसमें दोष वन डिजिटल का भी है बिकॉज दे probably would moderate her content a lot. I don't think Prajakta Koli has control of the script that she's doing for her sketches. I think उसके लिए एक अलग टीम है जो, and she has been relegated to being a simple presence as an actor in the show, which is not wrong. But when your channel is named after you, when you would want the people in the audience to come watch your videos for you, I think वो sketch comedy which began as her just talking about relatable stuff, I think that sense of genuineness has been lost somewhere in the way. So let's move on to a bigger and more important and more valid point, which is MostlySane की audience. Now she has over 5 million subscribers on her channel. When I started watching her, she had only 25,000 subscribers. When I subscribed to her channel at the first, वो मैंने इसलिए किया था because she was talking about things that were relatable. उसका जो Delhi slang वाला video था, I found it very relatable, and I watched a lot of videos of her after that. When she released her song Shameless, which was around the time she had 100,000 subscribers, I felt a change in her content, in her priority, which basically shifted from a handful of people, उसके 100,000 जो initial subscribers थे, उनको जो पसंद था, उससे it gained a massive shift towards a Masi kind of video, and I was not there for that, so I unsubscribed. Now, the current audience that she has, from all the analysis that I did, from all the sources I could gather, is a bunch of female audience which is under the age of 20. Now, the reason that this is very important is that her audience is a highly impressionable audience. Small girls, small boys who resonate with her content and who might imbibe not the right perceptions. Now, the part of her mainstream audience that comes to watch her for her sketches predominantly doesn't care about her, because she gets millions of views on only her sketch videos which don't show her personality. Her videos, the other two videos that she does, don't get a lot of views, and the question that we as a viewer and she as the creator needs to ask is why. And the conclusion that I have arrived is maybe because the real personality that she has is not as likable as she thinks it is. When you go on to check her other videos where she's not acting, she has to present a very outspoken and outwardly and loud persona, which works for a certain amount of time, but I definitely can't believe that Prajakta Koli is as loud as she is on screen as in her real life. अब क्या होता है ना, जब तुम पे एक इंप्रेशनेबल ऑडियंस होता है जो 13-14 साल का होता है, जो अपनी खुद की पर्सनालिटी मे बी अपने ऑनलाइन लोगों को देख के बनाते हैं, व्हेन यू शो देम ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स कि मेरी जिंदगी में हमेशा से पॉजिटिव हो रहा है, मैं इस सक्सेस के मुकाम पे पहुंच गई हूँ, जो मेरे को साइलेंट करने की कोशिश करता है मैं उस पर लुक डाउन अपॉन करती हूँ, यू knowingly, and it's a big blame to put on, but you knowingly imbibe some very negative aspects in their life by showing them only the positive aspects. And I think this point has been explained very well in the past by a few creators, which is that when you show only positive sides to your young, huge, impressionable audience, it inadvertently creates a negative effect in their minds. And I think यहाँ पे Prajakta Koli has a big responsibility for audience to evolve with time. Okay, which brings us to a very important point. MostlySane ने अपनी मेहनत करके इतने audience subscribers बढ़ा दिए हैं कि YouTube gave her a YouTube original series called Pretty Fit. Now, this was probably a question when the series came out, ki why MostlySane when there are other bigger creators like BB, Carrie, Ashish, Amit, and a lot of other creators that maybe possibly deserve it more than her because they have bigger numbers. Now, the reason is that MostlySane at this point and probably at that point was the biggest female creator in India. And One Digital Entertainment, her managers probably have had a good deal and they brought a good deal out of it from YouTube. Now, YouTube ke liye bhi it's a win-win situation. They get a huge amount of female following, they get a more female audience to watch, and MostlySane ko YouTube isliye has been pushing a lot. Now, I have a lot of criticism for the original series, ranging from the fact ki usme MostlySane just is a host, she doesn't have any creative control. SOL Productions, jo YouTube ne appoint kari thi production company, they wrote everything, they produced everything, they structurized everything, they conceptualized everything, and One Digital and MostlySane were there just because she had a big name in the retrospective YouTube space, and they expected a lot of audience to come from it. Now, if you go out and check the stats on those episodes right now, the first episode, which is with Neha Kakkad, I believe, has 38 million views. And the reason is कि YouTube ने जब नया original launch करता है, तो YouTube recommends the shit out of it. सबके recommendation feed में, even if you run ads on it, YouTube will tell it and consider it as views. अगर तुम YouTube पे ऐड चलाते हो और उसको किसी वीडियो के पैसे भी प्ले होता है वो ऐड, तो वो उसके पब्लिक व्यू काउंट में काउंट होता है. आई थिंक दैट इज प्रॉब्ली द रीजन कि उसके वीडियो पे बहुत सारे व्यूज हैं एंड द रेस्ट ऑफ द वीडियोस डोंट इवन हैव द व्यू काउंट ऑन इट. एंड यू कैन प्रॉब्ली जज फ्रॉम द एंगेजमेंट ऑन हर नॉर्मल वीडियोज दैट हैव गॉट अ लॉट ऑफ व्यूज. देयर इज दिस वीडियो दैट शी डज अ लॉन्ग टाइम बैक जिसमें उसके हाफ व्यूज हैं फ्रॉम द video that she did with Pretty Fit, and the engagement is almost the same. So you can get an idea. तुम बाकी एपिसोड जाके देखते हो तो one of the videos has less than 1,000 comments. You can't even consider the amount of views that she has. कुछ videos पे like dislike कम है. By all logical sense of interpretation, that Pretty Fit series was a big flop. And my problem with this YouTube series is this: I can go deep down and probably will at some time, nitpicking every single thing about that show क्योंकि उसके अंदर conceptualization ढंग का नहीं था. They tried to make a Nat Geo का travel type of a show, and maybe YouTube put out too many restrictions, like the 10 videos that she has of a personal trainer. Putting videos on a channel is such a disappointment. 5 million channel के subscribers हैं और 5,000 views है वीडियो पे. All of these things, they look pretty bad, but I can write it down कि the fact कि Maybe One Digital was forced by YouTube, उनके contract में होगा कि तुम्हें 10 videos डालनी है, and that's why they had to do it. They did not care about the views, but those videos are there and the criticism will keep on coming. About the fact that the show was not well written, the show was not well produced, the show was not well acted, the videos were not engaging, the videos were forced, the concept was not good, MostlySane had no control. ये सारी चीज़ें Pretty Fit के बारे में थी. But the conclusion that all of this came out to was, even though Pretty Fit was pretty bad, I think MostlySane missed out on a big opportunity to evolve her content and move out from the bubble that she had created for herself. And the reason that she has gone back into that bubble after Pretty Fit is because her show failed. Now, बहुत अच्छा opportunity था कि कुछ अलग, कुछ नया करके they could have reimagined and reinvented the MostlySane Prajakta Koli brand, which they failed to do. They failed to burst the bubble that MostlySane was not just a loud host, a loud person sitting in front of your screen and talking to you about it, but they failed to do that. And the reason Pretty Fit failed was because Prajakta Koli का जो persona था, they did not try to reinvent it. It was a big opportunity, a big possibility कि वहाँ पर उसको reinvent करा जा सकता था, but sadly that did not happen. And now that Pretty Fit failed, I think it's time we address the most crucial part of this video, which is the person, Prajakta Koli. ये जो पूरी कहानी थी ना, the tragedy of MostlySane, इसमें जो MostlySane वाला part है, I think that is something that's going to be most impactful. And I think that is what should matter to you as a viewer of YouTube, of MostlySane, or as a person who's just trying to understand personas. The MostlySane person and the MostlySane persona are very different things, okay? The MostlySane जो person है ना, that might be an entirely different person. We don't know her. I have only met her twice. You might have never met her. And जो MostlySane persona है, you can go check out her channel right now and you will get a lot of different vibes from it. Let me list down the vibes that I got from her persona online. Person के बारे में बाद में बात करेंगे. The feeling I got was that this person is not self-aware. She has a god-like complex about her कि वो जो कश करना चाहती है वही सही है. Maybe it is because of the numbers that she has. Maybe it's because of the people that she surrounds herself with. She pretends to be an immature person online that wants to be relatable. She does over-the-top reactions because maybe she thinks that यही चीज़ है जो audience को relate कर पाएगी. She appears to be a person who covets fame, who covets not quality content. Maybe she's too positive. Maybe she's trying to spread false positivity. Maybe the character that she does are just an exaggerated version of her own personality, the person that she wants to be. My perception, as I said, changed after that 1.5 year gap जब मैंने वो interview देखा. And this persona has a lot of problems. Now, when this persona started, this was not the same. The beginning वाली MostlySane was very nice. She was very quirky. She was very relatable. And अब वो relatability ना कहीं missing हो गई है. And I would like to take this moment and conclude this video by having a direct conversation with Prajakta Koli. She stands in a very unique position right now. She is definitely the biggest YouTuber. उसका competition, उसकी space में, I think the only person that can compete with her is Anisha Dixit. And she has a monopoly in the content space right now. She stands at the top. And even though उसका content अभी काम कर रहा है, the pattern that is working for One Digital is working right now. She might be relatable to her very small core audience, and she might have done a lot of empowering stuff as well. I think the thing that Prajakta Koli, her team, her managers, and she herself needs to understand is that she has to get out of the sketch and the relatable comedy genre. I mean, हो सकता है कि तुमने बहुत एक्सपेरिमेंट किया हो सकता है कि तुमने बहुत मेहनत करी हो यहाँ पहुँचने के लिए जहाँ पे तुम हो. बट आई थिंक एक सर्टन टेंडेंसी आती है ना एक जगह पहुँचने के बाद कि हम चीज़ों को बहुत फॉर ग्रांटेड लेने लगते हैं. हमें लगता है कि ये चीज़ काम कर रही है तो इसको क्यों बदलने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. हम पे फेम है, हम पे मनी है, हम पे ऑडियंस का प्यार है. And I think all this criticism that Prajakta has been getting, जो मैंने भी दिया, there's no denying the fact that she has worked hard. She has made a lot of videos. She has had to do a lot of management. She has had to do a lot of creative stuff. जहाँ वो पहुँची है आज की तारीख में, she does deserve it. There's no denying that. But maybe don't get too comfortable at the top. Maybe try experimenting more. Maybe show the real self that you are to your audience. Relate well to the audience. जैसे जैसे तुम्हारा career grow हुआ है, जो तुम्हारी initial audience थी, वो भी तुम्हारे साथ grow हुई है. They want to see something different from you, and that is the raw nature of human evolution. सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट होता है. अभी तो मोनोपोली में हो उसका मतलब नहीं ये नहीं है कि तुम वहाँ हमेशा रहोगे. योर ब्रीड विल डाई आउट इफ यू डोंट compete and adapt and evolve and change. And it's time to get out of your bubble. It's time to bring out a balance between being commercially viable. I think there is I don't know if there is anything more that you can achieve in the commercial space. There's a time that you need to strike a good balance between being commercially viable and bring your true self on the internet. And maybe आज नहीं तो कल, maybe the reason that she has not done so far is because she's not experienced the catastrophe of failure, maybe the tragedy of MostlySane has not happened yet. I hope that if and when that happens, Prajakta Koli is better prepared mentally. She does not have the God complex, just like I said, in her head, that she can't accept the change that is coming in her face. The criticism that she's been getting is not just there because she's at the top and people love to criticize what is there at the top. At least not in this video. The purpose of this video is for anyone who's watching, anyone who's a fan, anyone who cares even remotely about her or their favorite creators, can maybe imbibe it in their head कि change is not always bad, criticism is not always bad, and maybe अगर failure से पहले भी आप अपने आप को reinvent कर सको, maybe that is better than just failing and falling and then trying to rise back up again. And I think that's it for this video. This was much longer than I anticipated. I hope it drives the point back home. I hope it doesn't sound too virtuous, because मैंने भी अभी ऐसा कुछ उखाड़ा नहीं है जो मैं criticism इतना बांट पाऊँ. But I do pride myself in my understanding of the psychology of human nature, the psychology of success, and doesn't matter, depends upon what you felt about this. Let me know in the comments if you liked it, if you thought it was too preachy, and I hope MostlySane is able to relate back to the audience. MostlySane is able to understand the criticism that was going around. And I think that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching it till the end. I come up with a lot of different kind of videos on the channel. You can check it out if you're new here. And I will see you in the next one.